all, thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're going to be going over the Monk Mage Tower challenge and sort of going through an entire visual fight and what I'm doing in certain parts of the fight. You know, where I mess up, how I recover, what I'm pressing and the reasons why and stuff like that. I've never played Windwalker Monk before in my life, so I'm still actually, during these attempts, getting used to where my buttons are. And I didn't even realise that I was recording this because I was doing trial runs just to practice like my class, hence why I've only got the flask and the weapon oils. You can easily do this without the flask and weapon oils, but it's obviously just makes it a lot easier. I had other consumes which would make it 10 times more easier, but here we are. So start the fight, you want to hit Jormog and 2-guard just to get the spinning crane kick DPS increase. Now ideally you want to leg sweep both of them here because you get some downtime on 2-guard and stuff. You pop everything on 2-guard as well at the start here, by the way. You want as much damage as you can at the very start. Now obviously Jormog is not going to be taking any damage, he's got 90% damage reduction. Here the first sort of eggs, you can just touch a death and kill this one very quickly. They're very weak, these eggs. Then you just want to hit 2-guard as much as you can. You want to be using Chi Wave and Expel Harm on cooldown. And during this sort of slow down time, you want to pop your images and just, you know, hit him a little bit more. Again, just kite the worm through the rocks as well. You want to constantly be looking at where the worm is because you want these stacks dropped off as quickly as possible. Here, with the Sonic Screams, you could do one of two things. You can leg sweep or you can incap. Incap's the easier because you kind of want to keep leg sweep for maybe a double leg sweep now. As he's casting Sonic Scream and stuff like that, you get a lot more uptime on 2-guard as well. Here, you want to constantly kick it. You should have kick for every time. I karma here because I realised that I've dropped a little bit low. And because I have the talent Good Karma, I will get this health back. So it's something that I just want to keep up. You want to keep your health constantly topped up. I do a very bad job of doing so with my Expel Harms and Chi Waves. So don't do what I'm doing. Make sure you're constantly topped up. Make sure you're constantly using them off cooldown. Otherwise you might have some downtime when it comes to having to top yourself up with Vivifies and stuff like that. So the totems, you obviously just want to hit with a Chain Lightning. I do drop low here, but I pop my Trinket from Emerald Nightmare because it gives me some leech, so I do utilise that, as well as just stun them. I should be Expel Harming here. There we go. I get a nice crit, which is very lucky. And yeah, there's not a lot of damage that can go out at this time. A lot of the damage that goes out is avoidable, such as the Sonic Scream, the Fell Burst and stuff like that. The only actual damage that you'll take is through the dot that you currently see that I have, which is Fell Burst. I can't tell if it's Fell Burst or something. I forget the name of it. But it is a dot and it only ticks for, I think, 140 odd. Yeah, there you go. You just saw it tick. So that's the only real damage that you'll be taking. But here's the downtime on the Vivifies. I could have got to Jormog a lot quicker, but I had to spend a couple globals topping myself up. When he has 1 or 2 stacks Jormog, you want to look to cleave them down as much as you can, and because they need to die at a very similar time. If they don't, the other will enrage, so it's very good if you get them down at the exact same time. You can kill one before the other, but you're on a very strict time limit after that because you definitely don't want to get, you know, one shot by any of the mobs. So you just cleave them down. Your sort of pseudo enrage is the amount of eggs that spawn. There will be multiple eggs, or there's 1 extra egg every 2 or 3 earthquakes, I believe. So that will be your pseudo enrage, as well as the Fell Burst damage, and the Sonic Scream will increase in its damage every time. So if you let one of them go off, you're pretty dead. So here you leave it to the last second just to get that energy regen and then incap. Here you'll be seeing me hit both Tugar and Jormog, because obviously you want to kill them at the same time. I ideally should be hitting Jormog here, but I'm thinking that the cleave is more than enough, and I don't want to deal with Tugar's tactics really towards the end. That way I can just primarily focus on Jormog 100%. I can just pop everything and cooldowns on him and stuff like that. So here I dot up all of the eggs with my Tiger's Palm so that I can get some spinning crane kick damage in, and I just cleave them all down this way because there's not really much else that they're going to do. You have a lot of AoE as a Windwalker Monk, and you can really utilize it well in this fight. Again, my cooldown usage has not been perfect here by all means. The rotation has not been perfect. I get stunned here. I roll into a stun. So again, it gets worse. I Karma here just to make sure that I am not going to die. You can see the Karma healing coming through with the talent. So it really does top me up quite well. And I fought Brew here just to make sure that I am safe. I had my interrupt on a macro to kick Tugar. So I never had to target him constantly and stuff like that. I just knew that when I heard it, when I heard my weak aura go off, that, you know, it's time to kick him. Again, I need energy regen here so badly, but I hit all of the eggs. Well, apart from one apparently. Apparently I didn't want to hit that one. And I just cleaved them down. 3 of these bile spitters spawn, but again, they're very squishy and they come out with the same HP that the egg was at, so it's not too bad. The totem there, I run and hit it because it was next to the worm anyway, so it didn't really bother me going out my way. Here I'm slowing down on Tugar because I know that Jormog has got way too much HP left and that I need to look to damage him. Sadly, monk damage is very cleave heavy, so I pop everything on Jormog, but Tugar is still dying very, very fast. As you can see, he's on 5%, and he probably goes down after, like, in a second. I probably don't hit him after Jormog disappears, because if he dies, then I'm kind of screwed. So, I shouldn't touch a death here, by the way. That should not be where I touch a death. I should be saving touch a death for Jormog if you're looking to burn down Tugar first, because again, you have a pseudo enrage. You don't want to hit them at all. So here, I'm deciding to leave Tugar alive and just top myself up. It's very sketchy because he's very low health. And I know that in the next segment, when Jormog comes up, I will kill him just through cleave alone. So it's very scary in terms of I have no cooldowns, no Zuen, no nothing. So here is the scary part. As you can see, I'm scrolling over it there. The damage dealt is increased by 141%. So you don't want any of these screams going off at all. So Paralyze is the first one. He'll do this spit that will hit you for quite a bit. You'll see it there. Just hit me there for about 11% of my HP, I think. And he'll constantly do this. There you go, for 1,100. So you could take 5, 6 of these. But that enrage is constantly going up and up and up. And as a Windwalker Monk, you do not have the damage to kill it. You do not have the damage to kill it. Or out-heal it, I should say, sorry. So obviously it gets very stressful here. I've got probably one more cast until I die. But I managed to get the DPS check done in time. Again, you can kill them so much closer together. And you can be a lot more careful with when you kill Tugar. You can keep yourself topped up the entire fight with your Chi wave cooldown and your expel harm, so that you get more uptime on your damage on Jormog. But this was probably my 8th attempt at doing this on a Windwalker Monk, so there wasn't really much high hopes. I did it awfully. I did the entire fight awfully, and it can still be done, which is really good. This one was one of the more fun ones because you're constantly moving about. You're having to deal with 2 mobs again. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, this one. But I really hope that this video helped you. It's just a more visual look at the fight, how people can struggle during the fight and how they recover. And it's just about keeping calm in the middle of the fight if something does go wrong, and keep pushing forward. Thank you all very much for watching, and take care all, and good luck. Peace.